Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Why do I have to see education as a process? My name is Dr. Martina. I'm a co-founder, CEO, and the developer of the school model of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a meaningful and fulfilled life, then this is the channel for you. Why shall we see education as a process? Well, life is a process, right? And we need to understand that, as an African proverb actually says, there is an entire village needed to actually raise a child. Because why is that? Because there are so many different inputs needed, so many different exposures needed, and it's really also a process, a development. It is unfolding, and if there is somebody at a child's side who shows them how to do things and who helps them to navigate life and to bring themselves into the society and to actually approach and face challenges around them and possibilities around them in a way that is geared towards possibilities rather than hindrances and obstacles, to stand straight up and in a good position and posture so that they know who they are, but that everyone, each child and each human being is here to learn constantly on the basis of their respective developmental phase that they are living in. So I would really like to share with you an experience that happens to me quite often, and it happens to me as the representative of School Beyond Limitations quite often. We, of course, are a very special school. We are a different school. We can't be compared at all to any traditional setting because we have so many features that you don't even find within the traditional setting, or not even in private schools, in many of the private schools. I think we really offer something unique which is not replicable that easily, because we focus on so many different aspects, such as personalization, such as collaboration, because we are part of groups, we are part of nuclei, we are part of communities, we are part of friendships, we are not standalone souls, we are part of a small or bigger cell, and as such we need to understand that collaboration is an important part of that, and there are people who collaborate more, and there are people who are more withdrawn from group work, but yet we still need to bring added value to whatever we do in whatever situation we are. So there's personalization, there's collaboration, there's holistic education, and as you may know, holistic education, helping a child, helping a human being, basically navigating their spiritual understanding, their emotional understanding, their physical understanding, of who they are, and what their body wants them to do. That's important, and also their intellectual growth, of course, that's important. And another feature that is really completely different at School Beyond Limitations, which you do not find elsewhere, is this entrepreneurial aspect, this understanding that we are the creators of our own lives. So I don't want to go into too much detail about School Beyond Limitations, because I think whoever is watching this knows what School Beyond Limitations is standing for. But I think what I always experience, and that takes me back to what I said at the beginning, that many times, families join School Beyond Limitations or want to join School Beyond Limitations after having experienced other settings when their children actually then refuse going to school at all, when they start really, showcasing a behavior of avoidance, of complete avoidance of school as such. So for them, school has created within themselves such a big barrier that they refuse whatever has to do something with school. And that's why I'm saying, whenever such situations are happening to us, of course, I always want to see the student, I always want to see the parents as well, but in the first place, the student, in order to understand, has the student a refusal towards school, or a refusal towards learning, or a refusal towards themselves, and so many aspects are then, kind of clarified in those conversations. And what I need to say, then I always say to, if the student is ready, and if I see that the student actually wants to do something different and is still open for learning and still open, for finding out again about another way of looking at learning and education and growing and embracing possibilities, then we start the process. But when then parents expect that this is a quick fix, that I'd like to try this just out and see, I understand, don't get me wrong, the trialing out, that's why we also have trial sessions, but this is an important decision that somebody makes. And I think a student always, whether a boy or girl, you can feel it immediately in a conversation whether they really wholeheartedly want to still do something or whether they have completely given up. If they have completely given up, then school beyond limitations is not the right place to start with. Then there is therapy is needed to, before we start the process. But if there is this clarity within the students, yes, actually, I would like to go in that direction and I want to commit and I want to take part, then slowly but surely, and that's why I'm saying it's a process, slowly but surely the student will come along if, and I say that really clearly, if the parents are also convinced of this step. So that's why I would say, if we as parents understand, and if we as students understand, and if we as facilitators understand that education is a process, that it takes time, that breakthroughs may not happen in a week, in 2 weeks, in a few months. It may even take longer. I just had a conversation this morning with one of our facilitators about one of our students who always came along well, don't get me wrong. It was a wonderful kind of development of that specific student who has been with us now for 2 years. But now something different is just developing. Something completely new is developing, where you see that this student actually starts to open up, to think in terms of creating bigger projects which have an impact on life of others, which have an impact on his own life, which showcase that he is now ready to collaborate with others to see the big picture. And did it happen straight away? No. We are now in this student's second year, and I'm talking now in February. This is February of 2025. So 1.5 basically 1.5 years it took somehow to get into a different layer. And sometimes it takes less, sometimes it takes even more. But what is important, that the parents, they trust the process, they understand that it's not just the school that can fix everything, but that in collaboration with the school and with this system, with this approach, where a student is seen, where a student can really, get into their own essence, and their own essence may not be seen straight away, as I said. This may take time. and it's like a village, and there are different facilitators in the school, and all the facilitators, they see, they don't work with all the students constantly, of course not, but we together always work and talk to one another in order to find strategies together with our school psychologist, together with external professionals. I'm just coming away also from a conversation with an artist who actually helped one of our students extrapolate the artistic ween within herself. So this is why I'm saying it's an entire village, and the parents play a very important role in that as well, especially in an online school where parents also feed back to the facilitators and to the school what they observe at home, and then in a collaborative approach of learning and teaching, then we can bring all of that into the context, and we can expand the horizon of each child. So it is a process. It is a process that requires the collaboration of all the stakeholders. Of course, we only can start if everyone is really committed and in agreement and feels that this is the right way forward. And then the magic can happen. It may not happen straight away. And if it doesn't happen straight away, get into this clarity, trust the process, get in touch with the school, especially if the school is open for innovation and for putting the attention of what they do into the center of what the school is doing. And this is certainly something that School Beyond Limitations is doing. We are putting the full attention of whatever we are doing on each student, and with each family as well, so that we create time and more and strategies, and are just clear about the fact that it's a process. And if I don't see it straight away, I'm not panicking, because I know that we are on the way together. And that's a process, and that's education will not happen in one day. Education will happen in a lifetime. That's why the concept of lifelong learning in all areas, and not just intellectually, in all areas, emotionally, in socially, physically, intellectually, and spiritually, and in an entrepreneurial fashion as well, is constantly ongoing, and we are never at the end. That's actually the journey of each of us, the journey of each of our students. We will never be perfect, perfection. If there were to be perfection all the time, then we wouldn't learn more. But perfection is there in nature. We can relate to perfection if we connect, and if we know that we are following our inner, calling. So this is something that's a process, and it doesn't happen from one day to the next day. And it means commitment, it means discipline, it also means going with the flow and just being in the present moment, and giving that present moment then the full attention without being distracted all the time. So this is what we are also doing at School Beyond Limitations. And if you feel or think or perceive or sense that this would be the right school for your child, then please reach out to us. You will find the website in the description. At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience. or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.